Yo, what's up? It's your boy Kris KeyZ. Welcome back to the channel. We got a special one for you today, man. We're actually going to do a live. If you ever wanted to know how to take your own sample or somebody else's sample and how to reflip it, remake it, and do some cool stuff using Logic Pro, we're going to show you exactly how to do that. And we got my buddy here, my brother Jimmy Blazer, a fantastic musician, producer. We're actually going to take one of his songs that he created just here recently. I've never heard it before, but we're going to take that. We're going to see what we can do, import it to Logic Pro, and we're going to show everybody how we can basically resample a track that he already made. All right. So to jump right in, what we're going to do, the first thing you want to do is just drag and drop the sample. So, for Logic, find an MP3 or a MP4 or something like that, and create a new track. And go and say something, Jimmy, if you want to. Let the people know what's up,
Yeah, no, what's good? I'm glad to be here. I'm learning too, so this is cool. I haven't really been using Logic.
I don't know if they can hear you on the mic or not.
Oh,
Let's
nice.
see. The mic can. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, either way, what's good? What's up, y'all? I really don't want to talk too much. I just want to listen and watch. But, yeah, this is cool. I'm learning too.
Yeah, man. So this is totally live, random. We didn't plan this, but I thought it'd be cool just to show you guys in the poster. Now, I asked him if it'll be cool. He was like, yeah, it's all right. So, like I said, this is definitely improv. So if we mess up or if it doesn't work out, at least you guys know what we experience on a day-to-day basis in the studio. It's not always come out perfect, but I got a good idea. I got a good feeling that we're going to come up with something special. So first off, what I'm going to do is actually play his beat. I told him to bounce me the music with the drums and without the drums. So let's hear everything with the drums the first time. And I asked him, what's the BPM?
136.
The BPM's 136. So the first thing that you want to do is, if all possible, find the BPM to the song. He knows the BPM to the song, but if he didn't have the BPM, what I could do is I'm gonna play without the drums. So I'm gonna play this first track right here. And what you can do is it's a couple ways you can find the BPM, and you can go to my other videos, and I'll show you exactly how to do that. But you go down here to metering and go to BPM counter. So when I play the track now, let me play it from the beginning. You don't have to play it from the beginning, but so we can hear it. So in a minute, it's going to actually give me the BPM, and it just showed up 135.9, so 136. Now, as we're listening to it, what I want to do now is align it up to the grid. So I can start my click track. I press K. To get it as close as possible. So I'm going to actually nudge it and see if that still sounds good. Actually, I'm going to nudge it back. All right. So cool. So now we got a good basis. We've heard the record. We have a good idea what it sounds like. Now the next step is I like to personally. That's why I asked them to send me the record without the bass. So this should be the same. Everything should be already lined up. So I without the drums. I'm sorry. Yeah, without the drums. And sometimes you can do it without the bass as well. But what I'm gonna do is just go back in here and I'm just gonna cut these same places that I cut before. And I'm gonna mute this one and let's solo this one now. So if I go back and hear the first part without the drums. So I'm hearing like 2 bars chops for the beginning part. So what I want to do is I hold down Option and Command, and that's going to bring up, if I just hold down Command, it's going to bring up my regular scissors. So I can just cut one thing at a time. So let me undo that. But if I hold Option and Command, it's going to let me cut multiple spaces at a time. So actually, let me cut right here. So this will be my first chop. And then from there, I hold down Option and Command, and I'm going to cut every 2 bars. And you see how it cut that for me. Actually, let me make sure that's right. Yeah. So I wanted to cut every 2 bars. Just like that. All right. This might need to go right here. Okay, so that looks like it repeats. So let's just take this little section right here. And what I like to do now, we're getting closer. Appreciate y'all sticking along. It's a couple steps. Now I like to fade in the beginning and the out just a little bit. Just because sometimes when you rebouncing, you get like a little click or a popping sound. So if you want to fade that in and out, that saves you from getting a popping sound. So now that I got that, I'm gonna highlight these these 4 little sections in the red, and I'm gonna press Control B, or is it Option B? I forget my hotkeys. It's gonna be Control B. And that's going to bring up, it's going to rebounce that. So I'll just call this section A. Section A. And let me go back. I've done some videos, guys, to show you how to do this, but I'll show you one more time how to do it. What I did was basically bounce in place. So I could go right here and then just go right click, bounce in place, Control B. That's the same thing I just did. It's just hotkeys. I like using hotkeys because it's way faster. All right, so hotkeys, I'm gonna call this section A. And I'm gonna mute the last track. It just gives you a couple options. Everything looks good. Create a new track, press OK. So now I just rebounced that again, okay? So now I'm gonna work with this sample. Okay, let me play it back. And the reason I rebounced that again, I actually didn't have to chop it up, but the reason I rebounced it now, because since I pulled that track in, anything, if I reverse it or if I anything I do, it's going to do to the whole track, and I won't be able to come back and redo it. So that's why I like to bring a track in and then rebounce it again. That's just my personal preference. So now let's do exactly what I did again. Let's press our Option and Command. Let's just recut that section. Cut this little bit off right here. And we're going to do the same thing. Let's fade in a couple, fade out, 1 or 2. Doesn't have to be too exact. 1 should be just fine. And now we're going to turn it into a sample. Let's press Control E. And that's going to convert it to a new track. And let's press OK. And it's going to rebounce that down. And now it's going to bring up our sampler. I'm in the old Logic Pro 10, so I'm using the old sampler, but if you have the newer Logic 11, you just have a newer updated sampler, but it does the exact same thing for the most part. So now that I have that, I can go to my MIDI keyboard, and you can see that I can play the songs. It turned those 4 samples, or those 4 chops, into samples right here. And I can start tweaking the sample now and start basically recreating, right? So I can go to one shot and it just plays automatically, but I'm gonna leave that alone. I can reverse the sample. All right, I could do so much with it. Let me unreverse this real quick. Actually, let me keep that reverse. That's kind of cool. And then let me play with the tone a little bit, the tune. So you're getting the idea of where we can start really creating, all right? So we have that first couple bars. Let's go back in and let's find some more samples, all right? So let's go to the beat section. Let's go to this other section over here. And I'm gonna do the same thing. So I'm gonna just chop this one up every 4 bars. And you know what? Let's just do this. Let's just join these two together. I'm gonna, because of the sake of the video, I would take, sampling does take a little time, but I'm just gonna get you guys through the basics of how to get through it. So I'm gonna go back and join these two sections together. Let me color code it so y'all know what I'm doing. And I'm gonna press Option and the Command, and I'm gonna bounce. Make sure I get the right cut. Let me see. I'm gonna bounce that in half. All right. So now I took this same section, and actually, let me go back. I'm gonna add these because is this the same 4 right here from the first part?
Yeah.
What I bounce? Oh, that's different. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take all of this right here. I'm gonna actually join these together. I know it's 2 different sections, but it's gonna give me one big old chopping thing to mess with. So I'm gonna take I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna take all of these. Let me fade in 1 or 2, fade out, so I don't get that popping noise. And let's press Control E. And change that to a sample.
Okay.
All right.
Control E is the thing that makes it into
a sample. Yeah. So Control B bounces it down.
It gives it a new track after.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Control E gives me a new sample, and it's a couple options, but everything looks good. I'm gonna chop it by the region, and so now it's gonna bring up a whole new sampler. So if I just play it, it's gonna play exactly what you just played. I already chopped up. You see what I'm saying? So that's the new sample.
Track?
No, so what?
You'll be able to delete that, right?
Yeah, so I'll just delete that. And so yeah. So now I have within the sampler everything that is chopped up, and you can see. Whole nother vibe. So just for sake of time, we're creating, we would normally do a whole nother track, but let's just pull in a drum sample, something simple over here, and let's just play around. And I mean, Jimmy created the track, so I mean, why not put him on the spot and see if he can resample his own track here. But yeah, Jimmy, what do you think about it? I mean,
so far this is dope. This is something I haven't really use Logic as much, but to be able to see how easy it is to resample some of my stuff, like there's some other beats that I would love to probably take and resample and flip. Usually when I'm making beats and I want to chop it up, I'll go in and manually chop up the beat on the screen and then make it put it in places instead of actually going on the pad and playing it like that. So yeah, I guess that's kind of an old school way or whatever you want to call it, real, but this is quick. Yeah, and I like this. I appreciate you for sharing this.
Man, yeah, technically, guys, I'm using an older, this isn't the most updated Logic Pro. He made the beat, I think, in GarageBand, right? Yeah. So, it just lets you know that all this software, there's going to be 1,000 new DAWs and software instruments that come out tomorrow. And those do help speed up the workflow and sometimes the creativity vibe. But I keep saying this in all my videos. You guys are the real creators in all of this. These tools, even the AI tools, don't let that take over your brain and your imagination to create. Just use these tools to basically inspire you. So now it should be very hard for you to have writer's block. Because now if you get stuck in your old ways and be like, man, I can't create the old way I used to do the last 2 months or 2 years or however long, man, pick up a new skill, pick up an AI, pick up a new sample trick, what I'm showing you guys now. Watch some other videos and tips, tricks, hacks, whatever, not just me, anybody, and continue learning, because we want you guys to get better, but also continue sharing so the next generation can get better as well. So with that being said, I'm going to shout out Cashmere. Is a guy, he said he does a lot of loop packs and beats, and they're very all high quality. I'm just going to pick one of his sample packs or drum loops from out of here, and we're just going to see if we can create around that sample, using another drum loop, find something that's dope, and recreate another song or a vibe from something that's already been created. So let me go through some of these drum loops and see if we can find something, Jimmy.
Dope.
That's cool, right? Mm-hmm. All right, so we're gonna use this drum loop. Like I said, I'm just drag and drop a quick drum loop. Let me turn that down because I don't want it to peek out too bad. And so yeah, so now that we have that in, now that I had that, the original tempo was 136 for his sample, right? But now that we've chopped it up, we don't know what the tempo is. It can be whatever, but since we inserted the drum loop, this tempo is 178. So now I'll go back in and change my tempo to 178 on the BPM to match the drum loop. Let me turn that, mute that. So now we're starting fresh with a drum loop, and then we have our sample. Which one was our sample? Was it this one?
Yeah.
Okay. And with this sample, like I said, guys, don't just use what the sample is and replay it. Let's get creative. Let's reverse it. Let's play with the tone. Let's play with the pitch. And yeah, I'm gonna let Jimmy go with it. I just need to turn it up. Okay. All right. So,
You want to redo it?
no. All right, guys. Should be quantized. I queued it. You want to unquantize? I press Q in 116. So guys, yeah, so you can see, I mean, we're just creating, like I said, this is a live. You seeing us live, like literally from dragging the beat into the session, and you can see just how we just create a vibe, and me talking you guys through it, but you guys can take these same steps and the same approach and create on your own. That's really the whole approach of this. It's not to really see what we come up with, which if we spend some more time on it, obviously it'll be dope. But it's mainly, hey, do we know how to take a raw sample or a raw MP3 and start using our creativity brain and recreate something? So if we actually go back, let's go back and listen to the original one more time. So this is the original with the drums. And guys, it's also a good thing too. So this is the original sample, but also guys, it's a good thing too, like when I play a little bit more, is think about also if you're thinking about or trying to use this technique, because I use this a lot of times when I create. Think about when you're creating the sample. As you start resampling your own samples, you almost learn the art of creating a sample, because creating a sample, it is a skill within itself. You don't want to be over busy on some of your tracks. You want to, as I was listening for things to chop, if it was 1,000 instruments and a whole bunch of solos and runs going in, it would be kind of hard to sample. It would just kind of get in the way of me resampling. So sometimes, have you heard the term less is more, or the term KISS, keep it simple, stupid? Those sometimes really apply to creating samples. But anytime you can create live music instrumentation, which you can hear in this sample, I mean, this is for the most part, I think it might be some MIDI drums or something, but I think he's playing a live bass, live guitar, live keyboards and stuff. So that makes a sample a really good sample. So this is the original sample, and we took that and turned it into this right here. Let me go back. We turned it into, and this was just a quick 2 minutes, but a whole different vibe. Guys, hey, shout out to my boy Jimmy. For sure, man. Yeah, so I hope this helped a lot of you guys out. Like I said, if this helped you guys out, Be sure to do me a quick favor. Just hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, comment below what you like most about this video, and if there's something that you want me to do a tutorial on, definitely leave that below and I'll get to that as soon as I can. But until next time, I appreciate y'all tuning in. Peace.